Greetings! iBooks Author is a tool that has the potential to transform the classroom. iBooks Author allows teachers and students to create their own rich multimedia textbooks. iBooks Author can be installed on your machine one of two ways. The first way is going to the self-service application and downloading it through Casper. The second is available through the Apple App Store. To access the App Store, simply go up to the Apple menu and select App Store. And then when it comes up here, just search for iBooks Author and then go to the iBooks Author page and click Download. Once you have iBooks Author installed on your computer, to launch it, go to the Applications menu and select iBooks Author. Once you open up iBooks Author, you'll be presented with a template chooser, allowing you to select the layout for the book that you'd like to make. Now, on this layout, there's two different options for you. You can choose landscape with portrait mode, meaning that the book is going to be presented both in landscape mode when the device, usually on the computer, or if it's on the iPad, is presented in landscape mode. But it also allows, if the iPad is tipped up, to be presented in portrait mode. Now, the second option is for portrait mode only. If you're going to be deploying these books on the Mac, I highly recommend you sticking with one of the templates that are on the top, the landscape mode with portrait, because it's going to look better on the computer. Now, for this example, I'm going to select our solar system as my theme. I'm going to double click and it'll select it. All right, so I have that open here. Now you'll notice the iBooks Author application looks remarkably like Apple's other iWork apps. So this should be familiar to anybody who's used Pages or Keynote or Numbers before. Just to give you a walk around the interface, on the left-hand side here, you have the option to make a book cover for your book, and this is what shows up in the iBooks app on both the Mac and on the iPad. You have the option of installing introduction media, which is a very short movie or image that plays as soon as the book is open. It's a good idea to keep these videos relatively short. The third thing that you can see is the table of contents. Now, you won't have to worry about actually building this. The app itself will build the table of contents, but you are welcome to customize the picture behind it. Now, below these main items is where the text goes. And you notice that iBooks uses a chapter and section organization method. And so you can see here this yellow line around my chapters, and each chapter gets its own little set of sections underneath it. So chapter 1 can have multiple sections, and you can see here that there's placeholder text that's showing you where your text is going to go. If I'd like to add another section, I can do that. If I come up to the top left and click where it says Add Pages, I can choose, do I want to add a brand new chapter, or do I want to add a brand new section, both the section, kind of the introduction of the section and then section text, or if I just want to add 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, or blank pages to this. In my case, I think I'm just going to add more section text, and so this is section 1. Now this is section 2. And I can collapse and expand those two different sections or the chapter. I can even come up here and add a brand new chapter, and underneath that chapter, add a brand new section. All right, so let's go ahead and add some content into my book. In this case, I have some Word documents here that have been created already. And so I think I'm going to open up this chapter 1 Word document. And so here is some text that I think I'd like to make into a book. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the first of two methods to get text into your iBook. For this, I'm just going to copy all of the text. And so I'll copy it, flip back over here to iBooks Author, go to my first section, and I'm just going to go ahead, hit delete, and paste in my new text. If I look over here, notice that it went ahead and automatically added new pages as needed to fit all of the text that I have. I can go ahead and label this section as Chapter 1, Introduction. I can see here that I have all of my text there. If I wanted to format it, I do have some pre-built formatting options. If I click the Styles button, which is this blue paragraph styles, I can select text and then come over here and choose what style that should be. So in this case, I'm going to choose heading 1. For background of the problem, I'm going to go ahead and choose heading 2. And so I can go through here and I can format my text. The next thing I'd like to show you is how to add some images into your book. One of the nice things about these multi-touch books is that it's really easy to create rich interactive text through adding videos, adding images, and then in a later episode I'll show you how to add widgets to these. Let me get a little more space here. All right. To add an image into your iBook, it's a very simple matter. It's simply just drag and drop. So if I'm looking through here and I decide this page, this second page here needs an image, I can take this, I can drag it over, and I simply drop it in there. Notice how this will go through and it automatically does the text wrapping around it. If I want to make the image larger, I can, or if I want to make it smaller, I can do that too. Notice that I have the guides that'll tell me when I'm in the middle of the page. So right now I can see that this image is centered in the middle of the page. If I wanted to go through and maybe add a second image, I could do that. I can take and I can drag another image over. And if I scroll over here, I can even add this to this page. If I pull up the inspector, you notice this is similar to what Keynote has, where I can choose different options for the image, such as constrained portions, or if I wanted to rotate it, I could rotate this image around. So it's really that simple with iBooks Author. You can copy and paste text into it. You can use the formatting palette or the paragraph styles palette to format your text. Adding images is as simple as drag and drop. If you wanted to embed a video into your file, you would do that the same way. I can select a video here. If I preview it, I can see the video. I can drag this into the iBooks Author, and notice that for this video it's going to optimize it for playback, and I can go ahead and take a look here and see my whole page, and I can drag this to where I want, and now that video is embedded inside of the book. So really quickly I was able to paste text, drag and drop images into that text, and drag and drop videos into that file.